Hi, I'm Brenda.
And I'm Alder. And you can catch us on www.MackenzieMeetsAlzheimer's.com. And we spell Mackenzie, Mackenzie.
That's right. Today we want to talk about the moderate stage of Alzheimer's, sometimes called the middle stage. And it is one of the most difficult stages because it's the longest stage. And it lasts between 2 and 10 years. So it's so unpredictable how long it's going to last. And in this stage, it will include all the behaviors that are seen in the mild stage, the stage that comes before this, and those include getting lost and forgetting people's names and things like that, maybe leaving the stove on. But in this moderate stage, you see some different behaviors as well as those behaviors that continue.
I'm going to tell you a little story to give you an example of some of the behaviors. One of the favorite places our family liked to go when the grandchildren would come and visit was the butterfly garden. I remember the day we went there, Mom was in the moderate stage of Alzheimer's and she loved the butterfly garden. And we went to the garden and it was pretty quiet, not too many people around, which was a relief to me because the more people around, the more confusing it was for Mom because she couldn't screen out who we were, who the crowd was. It was so difficult for her. But as our time progressed, it was time for the butterfly release. And everyone was so excited to go with the ranger who's going to release the butterflies. And my little niece, she grabbed my mom's hand and then she says, "Come on, Gran, let's go watch the butterflies come out. Let's go watch them come out." And they went over and the butterflies came out and everybody's hooping and hollering and just having a great time. And the crowd started to disperse and Mom was nowhere to be seen. I guess she released my niece's hand. My niece was there. The rest of us were there, but Mom was nowhere to be seen. It was so scary. We started searching all over that butterfly area for her. We found the security guard. We explained what was going on, that she had Alzheimer's. We finally found her sitting on a bench in a corner of the garden. What a relief. And she was looking disoriented and confused and just didn't know what to do. She was just like frozen. And those are some of the typical behaviors of someone who is in the moderate stage. They wander because they don't know what else to do. They get confused and they don't know where they're going, and they can get lost sometimes and can't process crowds, can't process a lot of noise, chaos, or confusion is really, really difficult for them.
So what did you do once you found her and there she is by herself? And what happened next?
Good question. Well, my dad was her rock.
Oh, okay.
And my dad sat down next to her on the bench and took her hand and just kind of calmed her down and said her name and just asked her how she was doing. And he was the kindest, gentlest man. And just his whole presence of being there for her, being gentle, being calm, helped bring her back a little bit to reality. And you could see her anxiety level coming down and she got relaxed.
I think that's really important. Love and understanding.
Absolutely.
I mean, you certainly wouldn't want to say to someone, "How did you get here?" or "What are you doing here?" or, "Why'd you walk away?" I mean, I think that's one of the most stressful things that could happen to a person is to have to try to explain themselves. And so I think that's such a beautiful ending to that story, and how your dad treated her with such dignity,
It was, and it really taught the grandchildren because they watched this whole thing.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, the little one was feeling so guilty, like it was all her fault for
because she let go of the hand.
She let go of the hand.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we had to calm her down too and say, it's okay. It's okay. We are all together now. And sometimes these things happen. And when things like this happen, instead of getting all worked up, which can happen because we do get anxious and sometimes we get inside I was feeling the panic. Just bringing it down and being calm.
Right. Some other things that you can do with a person who has moderate stage, you can take them out in a public space like that and keep track of them. Some other things are do a repetitive task together. We use the example a lot of folding laundry, but I mean, you can even create repetitive tasks. For example, sorting anything. You can make up things to sort. You can sort out different kinds of bolts and nuts and make a game out of who can grab this many in this period of time.
That's a great task for men because they're used to sorting out different nuts and bolts and how they all go together. My gosh, we've always had, like in the garage, this little chest that have all these little drawers so you could find the right nuts and bolts and screws. So what a great task for men to do.
And of course, it's always great to sing songs and dance. I'm reading a story of a woman who was a carer in England. She calls herself a carer. And she was talking about how this woman happened to have been a ballet dancer, and she would dance. She loved classical music. So she and her person would dance together and sing, and even though no words, just, singing. So you'd be surprised how many people enjoy singing and dancing when they're in the moderate stage of Alzheimer's. And maybe even when they weren't huge dancers before. It's just that movement and the music and being stimulated. So don't be afraid to have a good time dancing and singing with your person.
Absolutely. For more information, tips, and activities, check out our blog on moderate Alzheimer's disease. And we have a PDF for you to hit some of these main points so you can remember them. And also, if you would like, you can buy our program, the Mackenzie Meets Alzheimer's Awareness Program, which will give you all sorts of information, tips, and activities.
Right. And if you're wondering who this guy is with the one eye, this guy, that is Agape Monster. That is the monster of love and understanding and the hero of our Mackenzie Meets Alzheimer's Disease picture book. So you can find this on Amazon. Thanks for being here with us. We'll talk to you again.